I want y'all to know all the secrets that he was keeping from me about this mountain. He basically just lied to me. So I'm just walking and he's like, yeah, I brought one of my friends up here, she's heavy, and she's just like, hey, this is great. And she made it all the way to the top. And then another 5 minutes later, I was out here the other day and, this woman was out here. She was like 250, 300 pounds. And, she went up the mountain. And finally, after the third story, I turned to him and I said, listen, Negro, you tell me one more story about some fat woman that climbed this mountain and I swear I will kill you on.
Are we here?
We're here.
Oh my God.
We're here. So excited.
I feel like we haven't spoken forever, but we speak all the time.
Right. I just saw your butt a few days ago. So
right. But now you're back in the beautiful Lone Star state of Texas, and a tornado almost blew you into Oklahoma.
Almost blew me in the eyes.
Now that you had to run from a tornado, I was like, man, she ain't tell me that.
I did, man. The tornado warning was like, it's gonna slam right into your little town. And I was like, wow. Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to On the Steps podcast.
Yes, welcome.
I am Philly Plowden, this beautiful, stunning, talented, amazing, just gorgeous, spectacular young lady is my sister.
Yeah.
From another mister.
Yeah.
Miss Angee Costa. Give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen. What's up?
Hey, everybody. Hey, listen, it is a really, really great day on the steps today. We got some crap going on.
And are we going to introduce our new segment, What Creams My Corn, today? You get
what
3.
Creams My Corn. Yes, that is coming today. This episode.
Yes.
So, you're going to have to seriously, now back on the steps, we were all kids. So the best we could do was some hugs, the little hug drinks that used to be shaped like a little plastic barrel.
Right.
We drink the hugs. You can't, but you guys can get yourself a beer or a glass of wine. Settle in, because this is going to be crazy today.
Right. And we can't even put a time on it. Normally we put a time on it. Because we started out saying we're going to do 30 minutes, and then that spilled over to an hour.
Right.
And so we can't even put a time on it.
Nope.
So,
really
okay, before we even get started, this just popped in my head when you just talked about the drinks. I'm going to say a drink, and I want everyone to watch your reaction when I say this drink. Ready?
Okay.
Apple malt duck.
Yes! Oh, my God. One day, I keep on asking Philly, could we please tell the angel story? One day, we're going to tell you guys about the angel story. But that day was so impactful in my life, and I think in Philly's life too. Yes. It was so impactful that when we left that experience and came back, I said, could you go get me some apple malt duck?
Apple malt duck.
Because I looked too young. I was too young. I couldn't have been more than, 14, maybe.
And here's the thing. It only costs like $5, $5.25.
Yeah.
And me, your brother, and a few other guys, we had to get 6 of us together just to get that money up.
Oh my gosh. Apple malt duck. I loved that stuff, but it was hard to get it because you had to wait for your big brothers to come home and go buy you one.
Right. And today they call it Apple Orchard. They give it a fancy name. Hey,
is Larry that what Apple Orchard is?
It's pretty much. Larry and I, for his bachelor party, was just us driving around the city going down memory lane. We got some Apple Orchard. And he's like, I want apple malt duck. We drove to all the seediest little bars, couldn't find it.
Right.
And so we just got some Apple Orchard, and it's like, this ain't nothing but apple malt duck with a fancy name. That's all it is. So.
I am going to try that. As soon as I go shopping, I'm going to get me some Apple Orchard.
Apple Orchard. So where do you want to begin? I am open like a book. Whatever you throw out, I'm ready to knock out the park.
Well, we're going to start positive. We're going to start positive, and then we'll deal with the other crap in a minute.
Okay.
Because we got some crap we going to have to adjust some people in the world need adjustment, and I am happy to volunteer. But I want to start by saying, so a week ago, I was in Atlanta, Georgia, visiting Philly, my wonderful, wonderful brother and co-host. And I had an absolutely tremendous time. I mean, it was great. All my family was there. The kids were there. You know, we were laughing and talking and playing and just having a wonderful time. On my last day in Atlanta, GA, Philly decides to take my behind up Stone Mountain.
Hey. It's a historical site. I was trying to show people some history.
Yeah, you were about to be a part of history. I could not believe this place. First of all, as we're driving there, you can see the mountain from the road. And of course, from a distance, a mountain looks majestic. It looks alluring. It looks like, you know, all the dreams of, you know, hikers and explorers. But when you get to the foot of that mountain in real time, it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. I barely made it on the walk from where we parked. By the time we got to the foot of the mountain, I was like,
all right, if you're gonna bring up the mountain, I'm gonna bring up my version of what happened on the mountain.
Hey, you know, it's the steps, right? It's the steps. So we finally get to the foot of the mountain, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a trooper. I'm strong. I'm reasonably good health. Overweight, okay, I admit that, but I'm in really good health. So no problem. I'm going up this mountain. I got a third of the way up the mountain, and I turned to Philly, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to go about 10 steps at a time.
It was 12 steps at a time. You're cutting yourself short. 12
steps at a time. And he was like, you know, very encouraging. Oh, of course, go as slow as you need to go. The point is to just get there. It's no big deal. I want y'all to know all the secrets that he was keeping from me about this mountain. He basically just lied to me. He just lied his way from the foot of the mountain to the top. So I'm just walking, and he's like, yeah, you know, I brought one of my friends up here, you know, she's heavy, you know, and she's just like, you know, hey, this is great. And she made it all the way to the top. And then another 5 minutes later, yeah, I was out here the other day, and, you know, this woman was out here. She was like 250, 300 pounds. And, you know, she went up the mountain. And finally, after the third story, I turned to him and I said, listen, Negro, you tell me one more story about some fat woman that climbed this mountain, and I swear I will kill you on this mountain.
Okay, a lot of disclaimers. I got to defute a few of these things. Number one, there may have been some lying involved.
You think?
A few, but they were encouraging lies.
They were encouraging lies.
They were encouraging lies like, hey, the mountain is fun.
that was lie number one. Lie number one.
So we get to the mountain, and she's true. She's right. When we parked the car, I didn't go inside the Stone Mountain Park. I parked on the street, and we walked to the mountain. About a good 24 steps from the car to the pavement, I heard the lawyer go, okay, oh my God, how much further is this?
For those who don't know, the lawyer is my 15-year-old daughter.
Who was not happy.
She was not having it.
She's still mad at me today.
Yep. She woke up this morning. She was like, oh, it's a beautiful day. I hate Uncle Philly.
Her oldest daughter, second oldest daughter, who is our engineer, Nikki, she was very positive. She had a great poker face, but the energy was this mother. Now, the senator, who's your youngest, the son.
My 14-year-old son, yeah.
Your 14-year-old son, this fool was scampering around like Peter Cottontail.
He was like a jackrabbit. He wasn't going up the mountain. He was going zigzag sideways. He's off in the woods. Yeah.
in trees, taking pictures.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him climb trees like a little monkey. I'm like, what is going on with Curious George? Right? Okay, so we get to the base of the mountain, and first of all, it's a lot of energy in the mountain, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I see guys go to the restroom. I think you went or whatever, and we start walking up.
Yeah.
And I showed her where they still have, even to this day, KKK rallies at this part of the mountain. And she was like, oh, that's nice. Can we go back to the car? So, but we walked up the mountain. And let me just tell you the end of the story first. She made it up the mountain.
I did make it up the mountain. But here's the thing about making it up the mountain. Every time I asked Philly for a progress report, we were almost there. Every time.
That's where the lie part 2 comes in, because you can't tell people how much further you have to go. And it's a little part. Remember I told you about the gum pole, where people took gum and put it on the pole.
Yeah, it's
a little part about this gum pole where you can look up and it's like looking at a ski lodge thing.
Straight up like that.
And when she saw that, I thought I lost her.
Yeah,
I thought I lost her, but she took it to. But hold up, this is the part you're not telling to our many viewers. This woman conducted an entire business meeting while walking up the mountain with her phone, and she utilized the 12-step rest program by making some type of business transaction from the time we left the car to the time we got up to the time we came back. This woman closing deals, walking up the mountain. And to me, it was great. And then we got to a part called the railings, and me and her son ran up the railings, and I tried to push him, but I missed. We ran up the railings, and then you came up the railings. Well, we got to the mountain on Monday. You got up on the railings. You got to the top of the railings, Wednesday evening, right?
I think it's close to midnight. It was almost Thursday.
And then
you gotta pull yourself up, literally.
Notice I said I ran.
You did. You and my son amazed me. I have no idea how you guys did what you did, because there were fit people pulling themselves up that little. It's just this one section. It couldn't have been more than, I don't know, 50 feet.
Long. Yeah,
but you're just like pulling yourself step by step, and all the way going up that section. I'm thinking, okay, at the top of this is the summit. It has to be, right?
No.
So I'm pulling, and he's at the top, and he's like, okay, there's a little spot up here waiting for you to just sit down and take a rest. And I'm like, okay, so we're gonna take a rest, and we're gonna go up this tiny little piece, and we'll be at the summit, right? We go up that little piece, and then you turn to the right, and there's a whole nother freaking mountain. Which is another mountain.
That's the end. And we turned and we met people.
We met a lot of people. We met so many people all the way through, I think. From the very beginning. I mean, people, there's no color, there were no socioeconomic boundaries or barriers between people. There was no age. It was just people on the mountain. Everybody was friendly and high-fiving and cheering you and
encouraging
you.
And okay, back to the first of all, we call the railings the church. I call it the church because when people go up and down that railings, all you hear is, oh my God, Jesus Lord.
Jesus.
Oh, help me God, Jesus Lord. So we get there and then we meet somebody, and I love the mountain. And it's a love-hate relationship with the mountain because a lot of girls are out there in spandex. And I love watching women I call it Spandextopia, and I love it. But a lot of them are college girls, and I feel like a dirty man. But I don't feel bad about it because I still go. But anyway.
And you watched every girl.
I watched every girl. I was storing up looks at girls like a squirrel stores up nuts. I'll save these for later. So then we get to the mountain. I was so proud of her. She walked up Stone Mountain. And what she did was something she's always had. She clicked that switch in her head that said, I'm not going to fail. And when she clicked the switch, I knew it was great. Meanwhile, your daughter was behind cussing me out with her eyes. She looked at me like, ooh. So when she turns 21, I'm sure she's going to just bless me out, as old folks say. And then we get up to the top and we meet this family, this Christian family, and me and the man hugging and everything. And
it was
the people were so nice. And
it was awesome.
And they said they're going to follow the podcast. We hope they do. And we just had a great time. And then we walked down the mountain, and then we went into the hood and got some Tassili's raw food, and they went to the vegan bakery.
So good.
And so good. And we had an amazing day. And Angee worked the entire day.
Hey, all right, so I have 3 things that I learned from that mountain.
Okay.
Profound things that I learned from that mountain.
Okay.
The first thing I learned from the mountain is that I am not as healthy as I thought I was. Now, again, I know that I'm overweight, but I've always been able to walk and run, and I play with my kids. I've got young kids. I've always been just super, super healthy. But I've gone through 2 years of a pandemic where basically I've done nothing but work sitting at a desk. So it was a real wake-up call about what physical shape I'm in, because this is the second time I've been to Atlanta, and both times I wanted to get up the mountain, and for some reason we couldn't do it the last time I was there. So I was super excited to go, but then very disappointed in my physical condition, and that I did literally have to stop every 12 steps.
But can I help you with that a little bit?
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a heavy girl story.
Okay.
When you go up the mountain for the very first time, you don't know where you're going, so it makes it extra long.
Right.
But when you, like me, I've been going up the mountain since I've been living here. So I know where I am.
Yeah.
Like if I drove to your house, for me, it'd be a long ride. But for you, it's like, oh, it's right here.
Right.
So that's one disclaimer. I just wanted to point that out. Like next time you come and you go up, you'll be more familiar with it, and you'll still be cussing, but it's not that bad the second time. Okay, go ahead.
Well, as soon as we got back, we talked about that mountain all the way back, 10 hours from Atlanta to Dallas, basically. We talked about that mountain, my daughter and I, the 25-year-old, and how amazing it was. And she was like, Mom, I was praying that you would quit because that would give me an excuse to quit. She was like, I desperately wanted to quit because I was struggling just as much as you were. We're just, we just let ourselves get out of shape. So we immediately went and joined the gym. And we have been going to the gym consistently since we left. She has already lost a ton of weight. I'm losing weight. I feel amazing. I've got so much strength and energy. We can't wait to get to the gym. So I'm so glad that you lied to me and dragged my butt on the mountain. And my daughter said, Mom, that could be the title of your memoir. It could be like, I made it up Stone Mountain. And I was like, no, I'll have my fat picture next to my thin picture. And I'll say, I left my on Stone Mountain.
Okay, so this just tells me, and I'm gonna get spiritual on y'all real quick, and it's only gonna last a second, so don't blink. This just tells me sometimes the prayer that's answered is the prayer that God doesn't answer. Because she prayed that you were going to stop, but you didn't stop. And the fact that you didn't stop, now look what y'all doing because you didn't stop. But had you stopped, woo! But you didn't stop.
Preach, preacher. I like it.
That was another blessing. That was another blessing.
All right, so here's
what's your third point?
Here's the second point. That was the first one. Here's the second one. The second point was, if you had asked me before, what is the key to success? I would have said belief in yourself. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to be able to see yourself accomplishing the thing you want to accomplish. And that's how I've always lived my life. But here's the thing, that is not what got me up that mountain. I had no belief in myself. In fact, the whole time going up, I was practicing my speech that I was going to turn to you and say, because you kept saying, I've never lost anybody on this mountain. I've never lost anybody on this mountain. I was like,
still undefeated.
I was like, I'm going to be your first defeat. It is not, there is no way, especially when you get to that one part where there's trees everywhere, so you really can't see too far ahead of you. But then you hit this one spot where the trees part and you can see your trek up the mountain. And I was like, no way. I was all prepared to turn to you and go, listen, this has been great. This has been fun. I love this. We'll do this again next time, and maybe I'll get 2 more steps further. I had no belief. And so I have adjusted that philosophy in my mind that you have to believe in yourself, because it wasn't my belief that got me there. It was your belief that got me.
Wow. Don't make me cry on camera.
Seriously, it was like, and it wasn't even about disappointing you. I was fully prepared to disappoint you. Had no problem with it whatsoever. So it wasn't that I didn't want to let you down. It was that you believed that I could do it. And your belief was like literally pushing me step by step by step. So I've had to adjust some things in my mindset about how you get to where you need to go. And I actually called one of my friends about it, and I told him the whole story. And he texted me later and he's like, hey, faith is in community. We always think it's my faith that gets me what I want. But faith is expressed in community. It's combined faith. So where I'm weak, you're strong. Where you're weak, I'm strong. And together we were able to, not together, right. It was all you. I was able to get me up that mountain. But this is the third thing. And I'm so embarrassed by this third thing because I should have known this. I'm a mother. I've given birth to 4 children, and all 4 times was really difficult experiences, right? But at the end of the birth, when you're holding the baby, you don't remember. Like even sitting here today, I don't remember any pain, any discomfort. Even in one case with Nikki, our miracle child, our producer, she should have died. She was born blue. But I don't remember any of the terror or anything. All I remember is you've got that beautiful baby. And with the mountain, I feel like the mountain reminded me that when I got to the summit and I looked out, it's a panoramic view. You can see Arkansas or Tennessee. You can see all of Atlanta. You can see a lot of Georgia. You can see lakes and other mountains and streams. And oh my God, it was so rewarding. And I could not remember everything I was thinking, everything I was feeling. It's like somebody lifted my head and took it all out. It was all gone. It was all gone.
It's like once you get to the top, it's like Will Smith and Men in Black, that flashy thing.
Yes.
And you forget the whole.
It's all gone.
Boy, that's inspiring. I don't even know what we're going to call this podcast, because that was inspiring. But it's true. It's true. It's like the pain of getting to someplace, you kind of forget it once you're there. Yes. You kind of forget it. So now I feel extra happy
that you lied to me.
Hey, sometimes the lie is the biggest truth you can tell.
Hey, this lady told me at the top, she was like, well, you could have taken the tram up the mountain. I literally had to hold my fist back and not punch you. Like there's a tram.
Experience. That would have taken out the experience. You wouldn't have got this revelation, Shirley Caesar. So, come on, Sandy Patty, jump on board. Let's go. Dang.
From Shirley Caesar to Sandy Patty.
I got one more. Come on, Dottie people, stop it. Okay.
Okay, first of all, you done compare me to a bunch of fat people. Now you done compare me to a bunch of old people. You really trying to court death right now.
Only a woman can hear that. I'm talking about talent, and you talking about size and age. Ain't nobody say nothing about that. Yeah, come on. Would you rather I call you, I don't know, anything? I don't know. Anyway, well, that's good. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, I am so thankful that I went. I'm thankful that you made me go. You didn't make me go, but you made me keep going. And just, like you said, I think you're right when you say that some of the best blessings come when God doesn't answer, because we think we know what we want. We think we know what's best. I actually wrote a book called The Gift of Suffering, that sometimes suffering is the blessing. It is the gift. Because for me, I like this last week has been glorious. Like I'm eating better, I'm sleeping better. Everything has changed. And it's all because I went up the mountain.
You went up the mountain. That's why they say, go tell it on the mountain. Over the hills and everywhere.
And airware.
So here's one of the things I wanted to throw up. We, in many circles, we have a very successful new podcast. However, it should be more successful. And this is the reason, and I'm just kind of getting a little vent out here.
Okay.
I was doing some research because you and your daughter, my hat is kind of tight. It's a new hat.
It's brand new.
It's brand new. It's kind of,
yeah.
But anyway, I did a little research. If you see a video of two girls fighting and a boob pops out, or somebody falling, or somebody getting beat up, or somebody doing something stupid like walking up crates. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I saw that, those challenges, yeah.
Those videos are in the millions. But something like what we're doing, which is comedy, obviously motivating, just natural fun, good chemistry, love, we're doing okay. And it's pissing me off. It's pissing me off. I don't know. And then the attention span, that's why we were talking about doing it for 30 minutes at some point. But the attention span of people, I guess, they think they got to watch it. No, you just got to listen. If you want to watch it, putting on YouTube is another vehicle, another way of getting the information, being entertained. You can put it on in your car and just listen. And it's kind of annoying that a video that caters to the lower economic parts of society gets over 1 million something views. But here we are 2 to 3 months in and we're doing good, but we could be doing better.
Right.
I mean, am I crazy here? Help me understand.
I don't think you're crazy. I think that I think part of it has to be attributed to the pandemic. I really think we all underestimate how emotionally scarred we are as a result of the pandemic. And it has sort of shortened our attention span anyway. We already had a short attention span. The average human's attention span is shorter than that of a goldfish. That's literal. Right. So we already have a short attention span anyway. But I think you're right. I think people forget that they can listen and still, get the same benefit or much of the same benefit as they would get if they watched it. And I don't know, I wonder if maybe people are gravitating toward that sort of thing because of the age of people who watch YouTube. And, now YouTube has something called YouTube Shorts and Instagram has something called Instagram Reels. And Instagram actually sent out a message to all the creators. They sent us a message too, and it said, we'll promote your video if it's under 60 seconds for free. Like we'll do extra promotion on your video if it's under 60 seconds. And so they are really training us to be. It's
a training ground, it's a breeding ground for short attention spans.
Right.
Just like even when I do stand-up, you got to get them and keep them because people are starting to have withdrawals from touching their phones or being on social media.
Yeah.
So, it's just a short attention span. But all I know is this. That last show we did, that live show, I've watched that thing about 4 times. And each time I watch it, it's like the first. If you haven't seen that show, y'all missing out.
We got some shorts coming out from that particular episode. And the one that was sent to me the other day by our engineer, I have watched that one probably 10 times. And I keep on laughing like a hyena. Like I have lost my whole mind.
And we're in it.
So funny. And we're in it. Yeah. Like this is a phenomenon. I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast before, but this is a phenomenon that Philly and I have experienced where we will, the engineer will finish with the editing and send it to us. And we both watch it like we are in it. Like we don't remember any of the conversation. We don't remember the jokes. We're just laughing like we're fans. We're
fans of ourselves. Before.
But hey, why not? Why not?
We're fans of ourselves. And then I threw a subject at you. You had to do some homework because you always give me homework. No, she don't. But I don't do no dang on homework with nobody. No. We brought up, I saw something I wanted to get your opinion about because you are very pro-woman, which you should be.
All right, let me stop you right there. Because we're going to end this episode and start the next episode. And the engineer has told me I don't have to do anything. We just need to do a goodbye and then start the next one. Because that you are not, yeah. Let's end this one and start the next one. I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to talk about it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, for listening, for hanging out with us. And, we're on our way. We're doing great. And we appreciate all the support. And, it'd be nice if we could hit that 5,000 view mark. So maybe, help a brother
share
out.
With your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Just share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Now, what, you got to do your rant.
My rant?
Yeah. What's creaming your corn? What you got to creaming your corn?
You know what's creaming my corn?
Okay, right. All right. We're going to have this written on the screen. What creams your corn? Here we go.
Why people who know you don't support you. So I was in a job interview one time and the interviewer asked me, what would your friends, if your friends could describe you in one word, what word would they use? And I really, really thought about that. And I decided the word they would use is ambitious.
Okay.
I think all my friends say that all the time. They're like, if you say you're going to do it, you're going to get it done. You're always moving and shaking. You always got something going on. It's so great. And they always say good things about who I am and what I do. And yet they don't buy my books. They ain't watching my goddamn podcast. If I put a picture, like I took a picture of myself in one of the podcasts and I thought it was kind of cute. So I threw it up on Facebook and everybody responded to that. Everybody, especially all the people who want to give me Facebook marriage proposals. I'm not available. Stop sending me freaking marriage proposals on Facebook. What the heck is that?
That's a whole other show.
That's another show. I'm going to get into that. But it's like all the pictures. Oh, you look so good. And it's like, but so I'll get 100 views on that and likes, but my podcast will be just above it or just below it. And my freaking friends are not watching it. And I want to know what the heck is that about? Because if you call me today and say, hey, I'm selling this or I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I am right behind them. What the heck?
Okay, so, well, it's a rant, so it doesn't deserve an answer, but I will say this. There's certain things that are just out of our control, and we just got to turn it over to God, and it's going to work. Because let me tell you something. This podcast is going to open up doors we didn't even think about.
Absolutely. Didn't even expect. That's right.
Didn't even expect. Because I just envision us being on somebody's panel talking about, hey, you guys have a real successful podcast, blah, 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 blah. Look, it might be a homeless man TV show. I don't care, but we're going to be on something. We're going to be on something. All right, let me see what my rant is.
What creams your corn, Billy?
What creams my corn is people who, when the sea and when the water is calm, they always got to make a ripple in the water for no reason at all but to satisfy their insecurities. Oh, and I'm gonna leave it right there because that's up. I can leave that there for so many different interpretations.
Just leave that there. You gotta give us something.
No,
can you give us a hypothetical?
Yeah, what's that old saying? I forgot the old saying because I'm getting old. You know you're getting old when you forget the old saying. What that boy say? What was that old saying? If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
Okay.
And that's, it's like sometimes things are just so great and moving so smooth. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're like, bro, what's up? What? And you can't say nothing. You ever get so stunned, you just go like this?
Yeah.
You don't even have any words. Like, what? What? So that's
I
my
have a really
rant.
good friend. Her name is Nazia Adeymi. She has a fantastic book, by the way, out called To Make a Secret. Go buy it. It's awesome.
Free advertising.
Yeah, Nazia, you owe me a check. She does watch the podcast. She is one of my friends who supports me. Her saying is people are bonded to their trauma. They are so bonded to their trauma that even when things are well, they can't identify it. They don't realize my relationship is going well. My job is going well. This friendship is going well. My kids are doing well. They can't identify. They don't even recognize a non-dramatic lifestyle. So they're so bonded to trauma that if there is no trauma, they'll just create some. They don't even realize that they're injecting trauma.
You have been so inspirational. That's deep. You and your homegirl, that's deep. But I said it the way I said it to leave it up to whomever's interpretation, because that's just because I'm gonna tell you, if somebody reaches out to me, that just goes to show you how insecure you are because you think I'm talking about you.
That hasn't happened to me yet. It happened to you where somebody was like, I heard you talking about me on the podcast.
Right. But this is my Carly Simon moment. I guess you think this podcast is about you. It's my Carly Simon moment. And yes, somebody just recently said, and she was fine. She was fine. Just disclaimer, she was fine.
She was sweet.
She was really sweet. She said, I heard you talking about me on your podcast. I said, and I'm lying out my ass. I never talked about you. She said, you said this about my sister and who has this in the blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, luckily I was driving and my face, I did not have a good poker face. Luckily I was by myself. I was like, no, what are you talking about? No. Wait, me? No. Oh, I was talking about my friend out in Oregon. No, you weren't. Ain't no black people in Oregon. Stop lying.
Well, I hope we ain't hurt nobody's feelings today, but if we did.
We don't care. We really, as much fun as we're having, you think we care about your feelings? No.
Start your own podcast, talk about me. I don't care.
We don't care. We don't care. So we're going to stop there. We're going to say goodbye for now. And then we're going to shoot another episode right now. And I'm going to take this tight behind hat off my head because I feel like my blood pressure is about to pop. And we'll see you guys next week on The Step. Love you.
Love you.